John. Here, you've earned this.
When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, a decent respect requires that they declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal,
That they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
and whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to establish new government. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, do, and with the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved of all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is, and ought to be, totally dissolved. In the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Tree line about a quarter-mile out. You don't listen to no sergeant, you don't listen to no officers, only me. You understand now? When I tell you to go, you go fast and you stay close to me. All right, you got a full load? Yeah. Okay. All right. Half cock safe, full cock fire. Ain't no different shooting a bird or a deer, then. No different than that. Right? All right. Shove me.
I grew up down an old dirt road in a town you wouldn't know. My pops picked the place up for $1,500 back in 1964. My grandfather was a drinker back in the day, he put him down. But a war is known to change a man, and the whiskey's known to change a man. That's not me. I rarely drink from the bottle, but I'll smoke a little weed. I still all I'll ever be. Now it's been 12 years since I sold my soul to the devil in LA. He said, sign your name here on the dotted line, and your songs they all will play. He set up shop on Sunset, he put me up at the Marquee. He said,
you wanna sell 1 million records, boy? You better listen to me.
he said,
Change your style, whiten your smile. You could lose a couple of pounds. If you wanna live this life, you better lose that wife. Do you need your friends around?
I said, no, that's not me. 'Cause the biggest things in life are your friends and family. And I like my jeans and my old t-shirts, and a couple extra pounds never really hurt. 'Cause a country boy is all I'll ever be. 'Cause Hank taught me just how to stay alive. You never catch me out the house without my 9 or 45. I got a big orange tractor and a diesel truck, and my idea of heaven's chasing whitetail bucks. And as a country boy, no, I can't.
Now let's set the record straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war, but there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second: surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any course we follow other than this, but every lesson of history tells us that the greater risk lies in appeasement. And this is the specter our well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement. And it gives no choice between peace and war, only between fight or surrender. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, eventually we have to face the final demand, the ultimatum. And what then? When Nikita Khrushchev has told his people he knows what our answer will be. He has told them that we're retreating under the pressure of the Cold War, and someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. He believes this because from our side he's heard voices pleading for peace at any price, or better read than dead, or as one commentator put it, he'd rather live on his knees than die on his feet. And therein lies the road to war, because those voices don't speak for the rest of us. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. If nothing in life is worth dying for, when did this begin? Just in the face of this enemy? Or should Moses have told the children of Israel to live in slavery under the Pharaohs? Should Christ have refused the cross? Should the patriots at Concord Bridge have thrown down their guns and refused to fire the shot heard round the world? The martyrs of history were not fools, and our honored dead who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis didn't die in vain. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay, there is a point beyond which they must not advance. Winston Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals. And he said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
How many of you know the 16 words in President Bush's State of the Union address that led us to war? How many know my wife's name? Now, how can you know one and not the other? When did the question move from why are we going to war to who is this man's wife? I asked the first question, but somebody else asked the second, and it worked. because none of us know the truth. The offense that was committed was not committed against me. It was not committed against my wife. It was committed against you, all of you. So if that makes you angry or feel misrepresented, do something about it. When Benjamin Franklin left Independence Hall just after the second drafting, he was approached by a woman on the street. The woman said, "Mr. Franklin, what manner of government have you bequeathed us?" And Franklin said, "A republic, madam, if you can keep it. The responsibility of a country is not in the hands of a privileged few. We are strong and we are free from tyranny as long as each one of us remembers his or her duty as a citizen. Whether it's to report a pothole at the top of your street or lies in a State of the Union address, speak out, ask those questions, demand that truth. Democracy is not a free ride, man. I'm here to tell you. But this is where we live. And if we do our job, this is where our children will live. God bless America.
Now 2 flags fly above my land and really sum up how I feel. One is the colors that fly high and proud, the red, the white, the blue. The other one's got a rattlesnake with a simple statement made. Don't tread on me is what it says, and I'll take that to my grave. Because this is me. I'm proud to be American and strong in my belief. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again, 'cause I've never needed government.
Today is to encourage the U.S. Congress to take action to protect our country from its most imminent threat. Electricity would cease, the internet would go down, and the banking system.
The smokescreen of national security used by government at every level.
A strong America is the only thing standing in the way. Country only needs a little chaos.
We have a fog that has descended on our entire nation.
Hello, Mr. President. Now is the time.
So what's the mission? Disarm the population and restore order.
Do you have any weapons inside your home or on your person?
You had to give the president power to arrest any American by simply accusing them of terrorism.
The vanity of nationalism will quickly fade. These are but the birth pangs of a new world order.
I'm just so afraid of the world that you're gonna have to grow up in.
This is the time, man, woman, young or old, when folks run and hide, or they pull up their bootstraps.
A man to make a 2,200-yard cold bore shot. Who's alive that could do that?
Seems I heard about a shot like that being made not too long ago. Said the guy's name was Bob Lee Swagger. Never met the man, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, they said that, all right.
They also said that artificial sweeteners were safe, and WMDs were in Iraq, and Anna Nicole married for love. Would have been a bad job to take, though.
How come?
Whoever took that shot's probably dead now. That's how a conspiracy works. Them boys on the grassy knoll, they were dead within 3 hours. Buried in the damn desert, unmarked graves out past Terralingua.
And you know this for a fact?
Still got the shovel.
Sake of argument, somebody other than him?
There was a guy in Russia. They locked his ass up. Nothing in France. I know he's dead. There was one guy, but he don't shoot no more. A brutal son of a bitch. Most boys shoot to kill, he'd shoot to wound. Wait till his friends come to help. Kill them too. Turn one target into 4. Men, women, children, killed them by the hundreds. The other side wanted him, bad. Finally narrowed his hide down to an abandoned 6-story building. They quit the subtle tactics. They called in an artillery strike, leveled a square block. brought the building down on his ass. Some say he crawled out of there. Some say he died. Never heard from him no more.
Fuck me.
What?
I met the son of a bitch.
Yeah, the world ain't what it seems, is it, Gunny?
No, sir.
You keep that in mind. The moment you think you got it figured, you're wrong.
I love my country. I love my guns. I love my family. I love the way it is now. And anybody that tries to change it has to come through me. That should be all of our attitude. This is America, and a country boy's good enough for me, son.
To be a revolutionary is to love your life enough to change it. To choose struggle over exile. To risk everything. With only the glimmering hope of a new world to win.
What if the federal government decided if its own powers were proper and constitutional? What if the Constitution were no longer the supreme law of the land? What if you needed a license from the government to speak, to assemble, or to protest against the government? What if the government didn't like what you planned to say, and so it didn't give you the license? What if the right to keep and bear arms only applied to the government? What if posse comitatus, the federal law that prohibits our military from occupying our streets, were no longer in effect? What if the government considered the military an adequate dispenser of domestic law enforcement? What if cops looked and acted like troops and you couldn't distinguish the military from the police? What if you were not secure in your person, in your papers, and in your property? What if federal agents could write their own search warrants in defiance of the Constitution?
Is monitoring private phone calls, your children and my children's private phone calls, and tracking who their associates are.
There's thousands of words that the government tracks. Words like almost any email you send might get your account monitored. This kind of tracking can make you second guess what you say. That's why mass spying is unconstitutional.
This is the next generation of surveillance. For the first time, we actually have permission from the government to show the basic capabilities. It is important for the public to know that some of these capabilities exist.
Engineer Yanis Antoniadis designed the new sensor, known as Argus. With 1.8 billion pixels, it's the world's highest resolution camera. Argus fits inside this pod that attaches to the belly of a UAV. But because much of the work is classified, we can't see the sensor itself.
Because we are not allowed to expose some of the pieces that make up the sensors. So.
What is it?
This is you. This is Jerry Shaw. A series of purchases, preferences, and quantifiable data points that we define as your personality. We monitor every social network, internet logs, instant and text messages, Known associates, your friends, companions, emails received and sent. Cell phone usage. We utilize security, surveillance, and traffic cameras to analyze movements. We use this data to form personality profiles. We know who you are. We are everywhere.
What do you mean? Why do you keep saying we?
We, the people of the United States. In order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, all programmed options, sector searches, and downloaded points of data will lead to this central command.
You're a computer.
And he provides that no one will be able to buy or to sell, except the one that has the mark, either the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for the number is that of a man, and his number is 666.
So how close are we to actually having microchips implanted under our skin? Well, according to the NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams, we might be a lot closer than you think.
More now of our special coverage here tonight, life in the U.S.
Change perspective, our true potential is unleashed. Are you ready to see the world in a new light?
An explosion went off just moments ago at a military base outside of Chicago.
These horrible attacks will only drive Zern Global on to ensure two things worldwide: peace and security.
Professor, it says here that the chip could trace the purchases of excessive weaponry and stopping terrorist attacks before they start.
Do not get that chip.
He said I shouldn't get the chip. What do you think that means?
I don't know the truth.
If you are watching this, you should know that you are being tracked.
I think I'm being followed.
By who?
Zern Global.
Zern Global. The chip guy?
Yeah, I didn't get mine today.
Roxy, you have to get the chip.
They'll do whatever it takes to put fear in the hearts and minds of the people.
Was this an accident?
Absolutely not.
We have breaking news of a bombing on American soil.
And no matter how deep you dig, you're never gonna get to the source.
you're looking for answers. I'm sorry.
Just looking for the truth.
There is no reality. There are only views of reality, only perceptions. You see, this is what your situation must look like to you, unclear, contorted. But if you move one step further, everything falls into place.